Imagine an invisible intruder slips into your bedroom while you sleep and begins to wrap his hands around your throat and squeezes, collapsing your airway. Your brain panics and wakes you up so you can draw a breath. You're relieved. But this nightmare repeats over and over again in a single night. Somewhere between 23 and 102 million people struggle with airway sleep disorders in the United States today. This group is not just obese men over the age of 50. They are teens, 20-somethings, and young women who seem healthy and fit. And up to 7 million are children under the age of 18. A healthy airway is wide in diameter and allows you to breathe freely while you sleep. Sleep disorders close off the airway and deprive the body and mind of oxygen. Millions are suffering from a long list of health challenges directly related to their airway. The collapsing airway has become an epidemic that is largely untreated. It's killing people, shortening the lives of way too many.
I'm somewhere in the middle, try to find myself again. But life is one big riddle of the future and what's been.
This is the story of the airway and how one young woman has battled to breathe since she was 2 years old.
I have always been lethargic, like tired, dragging, exhausted. I mean, when I was little, you can see the pictures. I'm swollen, I'm sleepy, I'm taking naps, I'm home from school sick all the time, mouth hanging open. I really can't remember a time when I felt so healthy and so gung-ho. I think that I thought that I felt healthy because I didn't know any better.
For more than 2 decades, Sydney Avis has struggled with flagging energy, loss of focus, digestive issues, exhaustion, and poor quality of life.
I would say almost never that I have a day where I feel really energized and great.
I mean, I go to bed pretty early. I try to go to bed by 9.
When I wake up in the morning, throughout the day, I'm just like kind of feeling like a blob when I have so much to do and I know that I have the drive in me.
Remember I was laughing in all the photos that you took, but now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. Guess it's the way it goes, and I will never know.
She has a hard time sticking to a job and has virtually no social life.
And I'm like, it's so frustrating that like I don't go out with my friends or I don't get dinner because I'm like, I have to go to bed early to get a good night's sleep.
Look to the left, look to the right, nothing can stop me in the night like
She works hard at her health, exercising rigorously, eating very clean,
I know you did.
practicing mindfulness, following an aggressive sleep routine, and implementing myofunctional therapy. All this has helped her cope, but she is only powering through the problem, not solving it.
Tonight we're running on the right track. I know we never gonna look back.
I think I'm like the luckiest girl in the world to have this family. It's so much laughter all the time. A lot of dancing, singing, even though none of us can dance or sing. It really is like a really special family.
So Sydney, since she's a young child, has really struggled with breathing. I think one of the challenges always going back and forth between dad and doctor is, as her dad, I want to come up with the easiest solution. But you see, the source is challenging.
My dad and I are doing everything together. Plus, he does more than I do, making these connections, meeting these doctors, understanding all the things that I do not understand. He's just at the forefront of everything.
Times when I've referred you other patients and we've talked, do you always do it with them laying back, or what's your thought there?
I think it's very important to recognize that when you go to a doctor, no matter how expansive or brilliant they are, that we all have a limited scope. It's too much to know. The likelihood is that there's several things contributing, and so you have to take from each.
I feel like it's just a journey like anything else. Like we're just trying to figure it out together.
This film has followed Sydney for over 3 years, traveling with her and seeking to discover the truth about Sydney and her airway. The cameras have been her constant companions while she's been examined and tested by medical experts. Many of the doctors have provided insight and made recommendations.
I mean, there's a few doctors that I really trust, and even when I'm working with them, they all have such different opinions of what I should be doing to live my optimal life. And then I think, well, nobody actually knows. Everyone has an idea, but nobody knows, so I need to make the best decision for me.
Most treatments, even if successful, would only give her partial relief. One solution, though, could be the answer. But for most people, this would seem radical.
We've had a consult with Dr. Reza Mowahed in St. Louis.
He and I both believe you might really benefit from having upper and lower jaw surgery to bring your jaws forward to open your airway so you could breathe better. I owe it to her, even though she's my daughter and I don't want her to have to go through anything unnecessary. I think it could potentially unlock the key to her health.
Surgery that would cut into her jaw, rotate it, and reposition it. It would change her face and involve a long recovery.
Surgery may seem extreme, but if it's going to help you so much, isn't it worth it? I'd much rather have the surgery, recover for a few months, and be feeling better than taking a pill my whole life, because I just can't cope with every day. And you're like, well, you could just end it all, but that's never been like something that sticks in my head, because I know that I can get out of it.
Although there is no hard clinical data or metrics to back up her decision, she has heard from others who have taken this path and have been transformed.
Yeah, I feel amazing. I almost feel like I have too much energy.
Really?
I feel much, much better after the surgery, and I don't know if it's working well. It's a lot better afterwards.
Is this the answer for Sydney?
People will look at me and say, like, okay, you're fine, or like, you're young, you're okay. But if this is just gonna be the way it is forever, I mean, I'm not gonna be okay.
I'm nervous. You don't want to see your child as uncomfortable as she's going to be afterwards. It's going to be very hard. It's going to change how she looks, which, we try not to focus too much on looks, but when you're used to seeing someone a certain way for so long, and it's part of their personality. It's going to be, I think that's going to be hard.
I know it like might change the look of her face, and that's like a little sad to me, but obviously if it's going to help her health, like that's what should be done, and I'm happy that it can happen.
I think it'll be like, she won't be scared of it really, because she's going to take it however it comes. If she needs to do certain things, she'll be like very vigilant about going through those procedures. Not an easy road for her necessarily, but she'll abide by everything that she needs to do in order to make it as successful as possible.
I mean, if I had to select the patient for this, and I had the choice, I'd take Sydney. She's an ideal patient. She doesn't complain. She goes through it, she accepts it, because it's going to be better for her, and it is going to be better for her. She's unusual, in my opinion. Of course, I'm prejudicial, and I love her to death, yeah.
Yeah, I love her. I like really hope that she is healthier than she is now, so that like she lives forever and we can be sisters forever.
The Airway documentary will continue to follow Sydney to discover these answers. We will collect multiple clinical measurements from before and after Sydney's treatments, so we can demonstrate how the Airway has affected Sydney's health and open the door to save thousands of lives. The battle to breathe has only just begun. Sydney finally had MMA surgery with counterclockwise rotation and a nasal procedure on September 10th, 2020, with doctors Reza Movahed and James Hartman. The surgery went well, with no complications, but Sydney had a long, tough recovery. Currently, she's feeling better and has started a new job. Only time will tell if this ordeal was her solution. We continue to document her journey and have begun filming the experiences of others who have similar and different airway challenges. We have discovered that this is an international health crisis that is largely misunderstood. So we are now joined by doctors and professionals at O2 Breathe as we focus on the diverse procedures, methods, and treatments that could transform lives. Although not even completed yet, this film project has already motivated people to get help. Please share, follow, and like us on social media. Spread the word. You may rescue someone like Sydney who needs your help.